Welcome to this guided series for new players for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. Now, the original plan for this video was to start talking about designing our second town and all the issues around that. But we've had an event which has triggered this video where we're going to be looking at building underground metro lines, which is down in this area here. And if I come back over, well, if I come up to here, I'll just show you what the event was. The event was that we now have a tunneling machine. And what I want to do is just minimize that, get rid of that. And what we're going to do is actually buy the tunneling machine. I'm just going to buy it here to save time. And you can see what it's actually a specialized, it has a very specific job to do, which is basically build a tunnel. So we're going to do that there. Now, what I'm going to show you now is the first job. And when you've got a surface to underground interface like this, when you click on it, it shows as a single job. But if you look very carefully at the bottom here, what you'll see at the moment, it says resources need to finish current phase laying bricks. Now what that is going to do is build this top section, and then the rest of this is actually going to build the tunnel that's associated with it. And what you will see there is the number of work days is 3,841. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to come above board, and if I just assign the actual this to the actual construction office, and I just let the game run, I'll let it run fast, you'll see that nothing happens. The tunneling machine doesn't move, and of course the other track layer is off away with the ferries over here, building the bridges to the ore refinery planned in the last part. So in order to build metro tunnels, or any even normal rail tunnels, you actually need both a normal track layer and a tunneling machine if you want to do it efficiently. You can do it all with a single train like this. These are incredibly slow when it comes to laying, actually digging the tunnels. Sorry, not laying the track. And what you see here is I've created this area here, and if I just turn the signals on, what you see is I've got this zone here where this train can go both directions between this signal and this signal. And what you see at the now, what this guy is actually doing, whoops, is he is actually building this upper structure. And you can see he's done it pretty quickly. And what you see now is the job has now moved on to tunneling. And you can see here that tunneling just simply involves 3,473 work days, which is by far the majority of all the available work days. So if we now just let the train run out here, luckily it's not that far away, what you'll see is this train will go into the actual station. Actually, there's one thing I do need to do. I've just realized something. We need to get that built, because even tunneling machines can't pass through a incomplete building. And what you see now is the tunneling machine. It's a pretty cool looking thing, actually, the tunneling machine. And it actually looks like what you can see is you've got the tunneling head and then the body attached to it. Now, one thing I will say is these things are very slow. Oops, going the wrong way. So one tip I will say is, say you've planned an extensive metro system under a city, what you most likely would like to do is actually create a dedicated rail construction office that will build the metro system for you, because it will take quite a lot of time to actually build. And come there, you can see this guy will now, we come back above, he will go this way. And of course he didn't have to go all the way out there, because he was able to cheat a little bit because he was coming here backing up to go into there. And what you'll see now, we actually click on the job rather than the train, what you see now is this tunneling machine is going to basically excavate the tunnel down to this point here. And you can see that the work days are going down really quickly. but it's still going to take a lot of work days to get even this short section of tunnel built. So this is something that you do need to be aware of, that laying metro lines are very time consuming, and you definitely need a tunneling machine. You can do it with a normal train, but if you imagine that the normal train's really there to actually carry these goods backwards and forwards, and it's got a relatively small staff, and what you'll see now is that this will slowly work its way down here. The other thing about a tunneling machine is, because it's workforce only, the tunneling machine won't go back to the depot. So if you go back to the actual construction office here, what you'll see is we've now got a requirement of 120. So this guy needs, I can't remember what, if we actually should have done that. If you actually look at the tunneling here, you can see it says speed 260. So while a tunneling machine doesn't need resources, it does need a lot of workforce. But as I say, the positive side is that basically he will keep using up all that workforce building this tunnel in one go. Tunneling machines don't go back to the construction office. Once they're in the tunnel, they just keep going until the tunnel's finished. And I think pretty sure that remains true even if there's no workforce. It just stops in the tunnel until it finishes. And you can see we're already over 50%. And if you look at the bar at the top here, you'll see how much of the job is taken up purely with the tunneling. I'm just going to let that run. And I'm just going to give you a bit of an update of where we are if you've been following the series. Because I was planning on building another second construction train here, because I want to lay the track out, because we've made a fair amount of progress in this area. What we've got now is we've got the prefab factory up and running. It doesn't have a massive workforce in at the moment, because I'm quite happy just for it to run as a minimal, because we're not exporting these, we're just creating them for construction purposes only. And then over here, we've now finished this coal store. And what I'd like to, and the idea of what I want to do is bring coal in here by truck until we've got the track laid. And then that means we will be able to get the cement works up and running. In fact, I think I've actually got I built a distribution office here somewhere. Where is it? No, I need a distribution office, don't I? I think what I'm going to do is very quickly put down a distribution office here. I'm just going to use a what we call it one. I'll just put a 6-part distribution office here. We're not going to build anything sophisticated because this is just a temporary until we get the train going. Let's just build a mud road in here. It's really cheap, so I'm just going to buy it very quickly like that. And what we'll do is we'll get some dumpers in here. Capacity is speed. We get 1, 2, 3. Get 3 in here. This is the beauty of being able to auto purchase. Now I've already done a bit of preparation for actually picking the coal up, and what we're going to do is we're going to steal the coal here, but what we're going to have to say is that this has to be over 50%, so that we don't steal all the coal and then cripple our heating system. This is a bit of a classic mistake you can make with a distribution office. You can set a distribution office up in the wrong way, and before you know it, one steals from another. This is also an example of how you can chain. Yeah, we can get 100 tons in there. How you can chain distribution offices. It's a very easy mistake to make, is to say, for example, you've got a town way out here, and you say, right, oh, I need to send food and alcohol out to this town, and I don't have a railway. There's a very great temptation to build a distribution office, say here, and say, pick the food up and go all the way out there. Sometimes there's an advantage, especially when you bear in mind of winter, is to actually use a distribution office to go to an intermediate store. Now, you want a reason to build that intermediate store, and then use another distribution office to take it further. What that does is it reduces the overall time. and it creates an intervention store in the middle, which makes things a little bit safer with respect to your distribution office, because this game, despite being technically a city builder, is actually a is actually more about logistics. So you can see the tunneling machine is now finished, and he's gone back to the depot. And what you see now, we are now back on another laying brick phase, and you can see we're kind of 92%, but we still got quite a lot of bricks to lay. What this guy is going to do now, he is going to do the laying the brick phase. And what you notice is the percentage isn't going up very quickly. And the way you want to look at this is, though, what this construction train is actually doing is lining the tunnel. So that's the phase. So we got up 1%. So, and this is all about bricks. And you can see that the amount of work job there, and it's going to take a few passes. Also, I don't know if you noticed that, but the train doesn't actually enter the tunnel at this point when he's actually lining the tunnel. They tend to park here. So you need to leave enough space here so that this train doesn't obstruct the main through line. And it's probably going to take a few more passes with that. So what I'm going to do is just give you a bit of an update about what's going on here. We are currently still trying to finish this overpass. What's going on here? Probably, truth be known, I think I'm a bit reluctant to do this, but he is tying up a lot of, so there's missing resource asphalt, but we got asphalt here. Oh, great. We've got trucks here which can't run. I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to suspend the job and then reallocate it, because I think what's happened is these trucks have kind of got themselves in a bit of a tiswas. And I think what we'll do is we'll just put him on there and see if the road construction office will see if it fixes it. If it doesn't fix it, we've always got good old auto build. This is the type of nightmare job that you can get in realistic mode. Now, the change I've made up here is I was thinking about the logistics of our new town. Now, I'll be completely upfront. When I was planning this out, I was thinking in my realistic game mode with maintenance enabled. What I did is I put a warehouse here, because this is where the food can close and alcohol will come in. And then I put an open store here, which would be the supplies that the construction office that we're going to have to build out here, who were in the long term will do the maintenance of the town. So I kind of slipped up a little bit there, but that's the way it is. And we're just going to scoot back and see, because this video is, I would like to keep very much focused on doing the actual rail construction, because this is quite important to actually understand. Yeah, he was waiting for his workforce, and you can see at the moment we're still ploughing through this laying the brick phase. The other thing that's going quite well actually is we're in May and we still got a surplus in this store, so I think the farming is pretty well set up now. We just need to get this thing done. I think have we built this? So we've now built this. So what I could do is I just want to try and experiment. Is add you to there. Yeah, here comes the tunneling machine. See, once you get underground, you don't have to do that first phase of laying the bricks. The tunneling machine will quite happily just come down here and tunnel. Let's say that first phase that I showed you at the beginning is only because we had this surface to underground interface. So actually laying the various bits and pieces here are a little bit more complicated. But what you'll find is that the tunneling machine now will go here. We've now got all the buildings in place. I've built this here. And the tunneling machine will quite happily pass through these buildings. So we've got a lot of tunneling to go. If you actually look at this job, which would be up there, to actually tunnel this is going to take 10,009 work days. and a lot of bricks. So building a metro system, especially the tunnels themselves, is a very major investment. This is something you do need to be aware of. That's the reason why it's very much a late game problem. Yeah, well, I'm not sure why you are waiting. I think the reason for that is the fact that this is how this game can catch you out. The reason for that is that the tunneling machine is actually in the job. Ah, no. I used the wrong one. Sorry. What I have to do is reconnect that. Luckily, yeah, that's my error. And what this means is that if we go back underground, get rid of the signals. This train has now gone into this holding area while he's waiting for the tunneling machine to come up here. I don't think if I put a, I don't think I can put a semaphore there. No, yeah, he will go into the tunnel now as I split it. The only risk involved in this is the fact that the trains may collide, but because they're on both separate sides of the metro, it should be relatively safe. Because of course the problem is that this guy, the actual tunneling machine, will be, I don't know where he's gone actually. Where has he gone? Tunneling machine, where are you? Yep, he's back again. He's actually, I think the reason for that is that because I messed up the signals, I messed up the job. Also, that this job is now finished. So what we need now is for this train to catch up and finish off these layers, because of course the tunneling machine has laid this, but he's happy with what he's done. But now what's happened is the other train has to catch up. We're down to 17 tons of bricks, so we're just going to wait for the train to come this way. So what we got now is a situation here where this train is and of course one thing you can't do is put signals down. So I think what we're going to do is I'm just going to suspend that job. That will allow the other train to do his stuff. So what will happen now is the other train will now go back to doing the other job across the map, and we'll just keep the one train here. So the construction train is back for another go. He doesn't have much on it. I think the reason he's not showing much is that he's only got to drop another 9.1 tons of bricks, a little bit of steel, a little bit of boards, and hopefully he will finish this phase of laying the bricks in this pass now, and then what he'll do then is move on to the next phase, which is laying the track. So if we watch this, it's going to come down to here, 3 days gone, and what you see now is that this is the final phase, which is laying railway, or that's what they call it. And you can see this has now become a normal construction job. So we can just let that run. I think the job is getting quite expensive as well, so I think we're spending a lot of resources, which isn't probably helping matters very much. We need to keep an eye on. I mean, we are making a small profit, and what you'll see now is this guy will go in here. He may do it in one pass because it's only 87 days of work. So the tunneling is the longest part of the job when you're actually laying a pure tunnel. You're laying the bricks is the second longest, and then actually laying the track and that is generally a pretty quick process now. And you can see it's actually coming in. If we go underground, you can see now, because the train is laying the track, the train actually goes underground. And what you can get sometimes is the actual jib of the train coming above the surface. And what you'll see now is, I think he's actually going to complete this in one go. So we're just going to come here. Yeah, I think it's going to be a single pass. That's it. So this job is now finished. And what But of course, what we do have now is this job. Is this job still active? Yep. But in theory, what we should be able to do now is we come here. As you might have guessed, doing metro can be a little bit of a pain in the neck, and you do need to possibly micromanage it. And what we now get is the tunneling machine will come out here, or it should do. Yeah, there he is. And he will go down. So what we'll have now is we'll have the one train lining this tunnel, and the tunneling machine will now connect up this end station to the main station. And then of course what we got next is the really big long lengths, which is going to take quite a long time to actually, and then once we get into the really long lengths, this is going to be a major tunneling operation. As I say, this one's 9,000 days. Imagine what these are. This is 10,796. Then of course we got a couple of short sections underneath. Now hopefully eventually I will be able to show you what a working metro system is like, but as you can see, it's going to take a little while. I don't want to put anything else into this video, so this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the video, hope you found it interesting, and until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.